You used to be able to walk the streets of New York City, walk the streets of California, walk the streets of anywhere. Didn't matter you were rich or poor or somewhere in between. Everyone was the same. Everybody looked at each other the same. Everybody treated each other the same. That was part of the American culture. Rich, poor, middle class, everybody gets along. Everybody works together in society. But now the political left and the Democrats have made this class warfare, and they've injected this class warfare into their minions, in particular the people that come over here and are non-citizens. Now, think about that. All right, I've got some points I want to make here before we get into more of these video clips and some of the news here today. There was something Alex was talking about earlier where they bring in the non-citizens, and the Democrats use income inequality or whatever you want to say to push class warfare. And then they can easily instill that hatred and that mindset into the non-citizens that they're bringing in with the open border policies. But see, there used to be a beautiful thing about the United States of America that you didn't have anywhere else on earth, among many things. The freedoms, the rights. But there was one thing about our culture, there was one thing about our society that you had here that was very rare anywhere else in the world, and almost the precedent was set here for it. And that was the, I don't want to say end of class warfare, but kind of the non-existence of class warfare, where if you're on the streets of America, whether you're rich or poor, you're sharing the same streets, you're sharing the same restaurants, you're sharing the same venues, you're going to the same events, you're soliciting the same stores. So rich people, poor people, middle class people, everyone lived together in the same society, and it was a non-issue. The poor people didn't have class warfare against the rich people. They may have had to work harder, and they knew that that was going on, but that's what they did to survive. They didn't hate the guy that had more money than them, but now the Democrats have instilled that class warfare into America. I remember I was listening to, I forget what it was, but it was some old documentary, and they were talking about how you used to be able to walk the streets of New York City, walk the streets of California, walk the streets of anywhere. Didn't matter you were rich or poor or somewhere in between. Everyone was the same. Everybody looked at each other the same. Everybody treated each other the same. That was part of the American culture. Rich, poor, middle class, everybody gets along. Everybody works together in society. But now the political left and the Democrats have made this class warfare, and they've injected this class warfare into their minions, in particular the people that come over here and are non-citizens. Now, think about that. The reason why you have Ellis Island, the reason why you have these immigration policies in America is so that people coming here that wanted to become citizens would have to adapt to this country. They'd have to accept this country's culture, and they need to be able to fit in. I can't forget the exact word I'm thinking of. And that's what kept the immigration system working. What was that? Assimilate. Thank you. Assimilate. That's the word. So they had to assimilate before they could become citizens. And that's how you got great people to come here. That's how you got immigrants that came here and then produced and were great citizens and then became great Americans. They've erased that entire premise, the Democrats have. And they say it's for social justice. They say that it's the virtuous thing to do. But really, idealistically, they don't believe in borders. That's the honest liberal mindset now. It's so far to the left, they don't even believe in borders. Borders are a made-up thing. It's fake. There's no borders, no such thing as borders. And then they'll probably tell you there's no such thing as money, too. And so that's why they just hand money out to everyone who crosses over the imaginary border that they don't believe in. And then they destroy society. They destroy culture. But think about it. If you've got all of these people coming in, let's say from Central America or Mexico or something like that, and they come here and they have this hatred of the rich white man instilled in them by the left, well, how are they going to fit in with society? Well, they're not. They're going to create class warfare, race warfare. That's what the Democrats are doing. Same thing, let's say you bring in a bunch of people from the Middle East. Okay, well, in the Middle East, women aren't even, in many countries, allowed to show their face, their hair, their body, express their opinion, anything. And then that group of people comes to America. They see women like Kim Kardashian walking around naked all day, being the probably has more followers on Twitter than anybody else and Instagram and everything, a porn star. I mean, look at the left. They're literally obsessed with porn stars. I mean, look at Stormy Daniels. And so then they see that. They see the media. They see Hollywood and all the garbage that comes out of that. And then how do you think they're going to respond? They're going to freak out. Maybe they're going to go plant a backpack bomb or something, or run a bunch of people over in a car. That's what we're trying to stop, but that's not what the left wants to stop. And you have to ask why. Well, idealistically, they don't believe in borders. They don't believe in America. And then politically, they need those votes to win office. And so that's what you've got going on with that. But then you get this story from the Washington Post, and it just puts it all into perspective. Gun rights are about keeping white men on top. See, there's two stories today that are 100% indicative of the left, the modern day liberals' mindset right now. And that's this story from the Washington Post. Gun rights are about keeping white men on top. So they don't want to talk about, you know, the actual statistics behind gun violence, gun crime, statistics behind crime in general, whether it be white or black or Hispanic or anything like that. No. You have to understand, they don't think logistically. They don't think logically. They don't think with reason and understanding. They have hatred instilled with them, and they have these social justice warrior mindsets, and they really believe it all comes down to white men. They really think that white men are the problem. They hate white men, and they need to destroy white men. So do you understand why they write the headline, gun rights are about keeping white men on top? And then do you understand on the back end why they're trying to take the guns? See, they just told you their entire mindset. Okay, well, obviously they want to take the guns. They make that obvious, but then they say it's about keeping white men on top. So here they are saying the white man's on top and they have to take him down. That's what they're admitting to you in this Washington Post garbage. But let's flash back. It was just a month or so ago where the Washington Post was saying that the Second Amendment was Russian propaganda. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Hey, if the Russians like gun rights and having firearms to protect themselves and their family, good. Again, why do these people hate Russia so much? Russia has come, oh, you know what it is? Because Russia has come so far from the shackles of communism. That's what it is. Russia is a great example of how communism fails and how freedom and free market succeeds as Russia and the people in Russia are finally rejuvenating Russia, getting rid of the communist regimes from the past, not saying Russia's perfect, but they've come from the shackles of communism. Another example of how communism fails. And that's why the left hates Russia. And so here you go. The entire gun thing fails, so it goes back to what they do every time, hate the white man, everything's the white man's fault, and they say gun rights are about keeping white men on top. So you got to take the guns, and you got to take the white man down. And that's one angle. Here's the other angle from the left's modern ideology. Trump is trying to have a peace talk with North Korea, trying to bring North Korea to the table, going to have a meeting with Kim Jong-un. It's big breaking news today. And then what does the left say? It's a distraction from the Stormy Daniels story. It was orchestrated by Putin. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go down the deep end here. Let's jump off the deep end here. Let's go off the cliff here. And let's say that maybe that's right. Let's say that Trump is trying to distract from whatever fake news they're reporting or whatever they're reporting. And let's even say it was orchestrated by Putin. Let's say both of those angles are true. Okay, well, so what? I thought the left was all about, you know, everyone coming together and working together. But again, they hate Russia. But now all of a sudden, the left doesn't want peace. The left doesn't want prosperity. The left doesn't want the people of North Korea to be freed and have a chance at prosperity because they think it was organized by Russia. They think it was organized by Putin. They think it's just a distraction. Trump announces today that he's going to release the secret technologies and cure cancer. An unbelievable distraction from the news that he's colluding with Russia. Can you believe this? we're reporting that Trump is colluding with Russia, and he's over here trying to distract from that by curing cancer. How dare he? How dare Trump cure cancer and distract from our fake news? Oh, Trump is all worried about Stormy Daniels and there's a porn star. Oh my gosh, it's the biggest news. Wait, what? Trump is sitting down with North Korea to have peace talks? Why isn't he addressing our news about the porn star? Why is he distracting from the porn star? How dare President Trump? How dare President Trump put the tariffs on steel to rejuvenate manufacturing in this company, to distract us from fake news? How dare he?
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Thank you all for coming together to represent our party at its best.
I am standing in the middle of 1984 civilization.
Let resistance equal progress.
Yeah, this kind of feels fascist to me, yet they're out here protesting fascism. They put it in their music videos, they hold up decapitated heads, plays in the New York Public Theater.
Are you trying to fight me, bro? Yeah, trying to engage in political discourse with these people, and you've seen the responses time and time again. And this represents the strength, the courage, and the bravery that we can have freedom and prosperity.
The War Room. Infowars.com/show.
Make no mistake, we've made some major gains against the globalists, but they're striking back all over the world. Now more than ever is the time to get prepared with the highest quality emergency supplies across the board. Medical supplies, emergency supplies, communications, tactical, it's all there, and we're adding more and more every day of the very best products out there. So go to fortifiedsupply.com today to not just see the great products we offer there, but links to some of the other great sponsors that we have as well. That's fortifiedsupply.com.